which was the best moment for each One Piece character. Whether we are talking about epic speeches, badass fights, insane power-ups, emotional moments, or just straight-up instances showcasing what a great character someone is, today we'll be presenting the best moments for each One Piece character. So, where should we start from? Well, let's just take the characters in alphabetical order, since, you know, why not? Beginning with the letter A, we have two characters, the first of which we will analyze, Ace D Donut. Among his appearances, we have four possible moments to consider. The first of them took place during Alabasta arc. You see, Ace is searching for his former subordinate Blackbeard for the murder of Thatch. In his way, he encounters the Straw Hat Pirates while in their journey to Alabasta. As Ace arrives in Alabasta, he encounters a fleet of ships belonging to Baroque Works. Ace demonstrates his immense power by single-handedly destroying 5 Baroque Works ships using his Mira Mira no abilities. He creates a massive fire attack, incinerating the ships and showcasing his prowess as a Logia-type Devil Fruit user. Now, the second most important moment we can mention takes place during Marineford, where Ace was captured by the Marines and sentenced to public execution. After a lot of effort, Ace is finally released from his shackles, and, well, you better believe he went all out. Ace fighting alongside his brother was hands down one of the best moments in the series. The third memorable moment of Ace someone could pick is the flashback we got with Yamato, where, over the course of their interaction, Ace and Yamato develop a friendship. Ace's open and adventurous spirit resonates with Yamato, who has been longing for freedom and meaningful connections. Ace promises to return to Wano and help Yamato and the people of Wano achieve their freedom. However, as we later find out, all Yamato ever found out about Ace after that was that he died when his Vivre card burned out. A truly emotional moment if you ask me. However, the moment I would personally choose is a moment that is both the best and worst moment at the same time for Ace. Confused? Allow me to explain. You see, the moment Ace died was probably among the most stupid decisions in One Piece, hence classifying this as his worst moment, as Ace, instead of running for his life, went back to fight Akainu. However, the best moment of Ace occurred because of that as well. Ace's defining moment is his final stand at Marineford, where he sacrifices himself to protect Luffy from Admiral Akainu. His last words to Luffy, expressing his gratitude for having been loved, makes for a tragic goodbye to one of the fan favorites in One Piece. But speaking of Ace becoming a donut, I must admit I have been wondering about this for a long time. What donut flavor was Ace turned into? Oh well, why don't we just ask him then? What donut flavor are you?
I'm a strawberry donut. Now what about you?
Bro, I am not a donut. You are alone on this one. But how can you talk to Ace as well? Well, by downloading this new free app called Talkie AI, you can chat with countless anime characters about anything. And I mean anything. Whether you just want to have fun. Hey, is it true you do anything for money?
Yep, anything. I'm like a genie.
Ask for help, bro, quickly. I am sick. I need to see a doctor or I won't make it. Where is the nearest hospital?
Hold on. There's one just down the road. It's not far. Follow me.
Or have a casual conversation with your anime friend.
I love the ones with big, round, soft.
My best friend.
Talkie AI has you covered. All you need to do is use my link in the description down below to download Talkie AI and ask your favorite anime characters whatever questions you want. It's fun, entertaining, highly engaging, and the best part, even Nami would approve, as this app is a matter of fact completely free of charge. Whether you're into imaginative roleplay or want to chat with Robin and Nami the same way Sanji would do, or even simply interacting with realistic AIs, Talkie AI does the trick. And not just that, but hear this next. Talkie AI allows you to build your very own AI. Customize everything from appearance to voice to how it thinks and how it replies to you. So what are you waiting for? Download Talkie AI today by using the link in the description down below and let the fun begin. But now, let's get back to our video. Up next, Aokiji, where his best moment was, of course, the moment he met Nami and asked her out on a date because of her, quote, big bazonkas. I mean, what better moment would you want other than that? Nah, seriously. There were two moments we are considering for him. The first was during the events of Ohara's Buster Call, where Aokiji not only allowed Nico Robin to live, but also faked Saul's death in order to save his life as well. When it comes to saving Robin's life, I'm pretty sure that if Aokiji wanted to, he could very easily end Robin on the spot. That is, if he was serious, and he did not fake being fully occupied with Saul. The second moment we are considering for Aokiji is his battle against Garp. The clash takes place during the events surrounding the island of Hachinosu, which is under the control of the Blackbeard pirates. Garp, leading a mission to rescue Kobe, engages with various enemies, including Aokiji. The outcome of their fight is crucial for the storyline, impacting the fate of Kobe and influencing the ongoing power struggles within the One Piece world. The confrontation is not just about physical prowess, but also highlights the complex dynamics between Garp and Aokiji, considering their history within the Marines and their differing paths. If I had to choose between the two moments, even though debatable, I would probably go for the Aokiji versus Garp moment. Moving on to the letter B. The first character we have is Blackbeard. Well, here, who could leave out the moment of dreams never end? You see, Luffy and his crew arrive in Mocktown while trying to find a way towards Skypiea. Why? While in Mocktown, Luffy crosses paths with Blackbeard, who is also present in the town. At this point, Blackbeard is not yet a prominent figure in the series, but his presence carries an air of mystery and danger. Blackbeard's speech about dreams never ending is not only epic, but it also showcased once again that despite him being the polar opposite of Luffy, at the end of the day, Luffy and Blackbeard are two sides of the same coin. Same philosophy, goals, and beliefs, but different means to achieve their goals. This statement reflects Blackbeard's philosophy and ambition. It suggests that dreams are eternal and that one should never give up on their aspirations, no matter the obstacles or challenges they face. It also hints at Blackbeard's own pursuit of his dreams, which ultimately drives him to become one of the most formidable and ambitious pirates in the series. Up next, Brook. Well, his best moment was surely this moment during the movie Gold, right? Nah, seriously. For Brook, we've got two moments again. The first is taking place during Thriller Bark Arc, where Brook fights to reclaim his shadow from Gecko Moria. Not only that, but we find out about his touching backstory, and especially the song Binks Sake, as well as his promise to Laboon, adding depth to his character that is beyond just the comical relief with his I'm dead jokes. The second moment we should point out, which is the moment I believe is actually the best for Brook, takes place during Whole Cake Island arc. I mean, in this arc, Brook went absolutely beast mode, fighting Big Mom with no fear, copying her poneglyph, asking to see her panties on top of it all, and even breaking the portrait of Mother Carmel. This sequence of events proved for good that my guy Brook is built different. But yeah, I know he's literally built different with this kind of body, but still, it is what it is. The third character whose name starts with B is, of course, Buggy D. Clown. You see, Lord Buggy had quite a few memorable moments in the show. Most of them, however, were basically comic relief moments, especially during the Impel Down and Marineford arcs, where his accidental heroics earned him an inflated reputation among prisoners and pirates alike, ultimately leading to his status as Shichibukai. However, if we had to name the best moment for Buggy, then this would probably be him being kicked in the nuts by Luffy. No, I'm just messing with you. The best moment of Buggy was surely the moment he became a Yonko, even if he was later beaten by both Crocodile and Mihawk because of that. Well, who can really say that the reputation that comes with being a Yonko is a little thing? But if you think Buggy's moments were funny, well, wait till you hear about Bartolomeo next. You see, being part of the Grand Fleet and at the same time the captain of the second ship, well, all I'm gonna say is that my guy is too fired up for his new role. So much that when going around different territories, he once stumbled upon an area that fell under the protection of the Red Hair Pirates. Seemingly not knowing the connection of Shanks and Luffy, Bartolomeo went on to burn the Red Hair Pirates, showing that he's not afraid to mess with even an emperor like Shanks, if it's to fight for the interests of Luffy. But speaking of Bartolomeo going to extreme lengths for Luffy, well, this next moment was also among the best ones. Remember when someone made fun of Luffy for not being able to save his brother Ace? Well, Bartolomeo wanted all the smoke after that, as he went on to force the man's tongue out and stab it for daring to insult Luffy. Even though both of these moments were great, if I had to name one moment as the best for Bartolomeo, then I suppose it would be the following. During Dressrosa arc, we have the Corrida Coliseum event, where participants fight for the prize of the Mira Mira no Mi, the devil fruit previously consumed by Portgas the Ace. Well, among those contenders was Bartolomeo as well. Remember what he did during one of his fights? He urinates off the side of the arena where a large audience can see him, all while being extremely carefree because of his devil fruit, the Bari Bari no Mi, creating an impenetrable barrier around him that no one could break. This showcased his irreverent and carefree attitude, further establishing his character as a provocateur who cares little for societal norms. And, well, for me, that was his best moment of the series so far. On to the letter C, we've got Crocodile. For him, I again have two moments I'm considering. The first was during Marineford, where Crocodile went absolutely beast mode against anyone put in his way. Crocodile has a brief but intense confrontation with another warlord, Don Quixote Doflamingo. Then the fight between Crocodile and Doflamingo is interrupted by Diamond Jozu, a commander of the Whitebeard pirates, who attacks Crocodile, ending their direct confrontation. Crocodile makes a bold attempt to kill Whitebeard early in the battle, driven by his personal vendetta against the Yonko. However, Luffy intervenes and stops Crocodile, preventing the attack. Not only that, at a critical moment, Crocodile saves Luffy and Jinbei from Akainu's deadly magma attack. And yet, that's not all. Crocodile has a brief skirmish with Dracule Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman. Although the encounter is short, it showcases Crocodile's confidence and willingness to challenge powerful adversaries. And again, that's not the end of it. Throughout the battle, Crocodile engages with numerous Marines and other combatants. His presence on the battlefield adds chaos and complexity, as he does not align himself strictly with either the Whitebeard pirates or the Marines. Even though his general presence in Marineford is epic, for his best moment, I would probably have to go with the iconic line,
久しぶりだな Mugiwara.
On to emergency food. Chopper! Here, I will just get straight to the point. I've got two moments for Chopper. The first was a relatively recent moment, as it took place in Wano. Chopper's confrontation with Queen, one of Kaido's top officers, is a damn powerful moment. Despite the overwhelming odds, Chopper bravely fights to protect his friends and the people of Wano. His use of Monster Point against such a formidable opponent demonstrates his courage and strength. But my favorite moment of Chopper happened during Eni's lobby. Chopper's transformation into his Monster Point form for the first time during the battle at Eni's lobby is a standout moment. it. He uses a rumble ball to unleash his powerful form, demonstrating his determination to protect his friends, even at great risk to himself. The most chilling thing was his quote, "I realized that back then, the reason I wanted to be a human is so that I can have friends. Now, I just want to be a monster that can help Luffy." And with that, Chopper went on to eat the third rumble ball and get into his monster point. Well, all I will say is that Kumadori definitely regretted choosing the quote, "easy opponent to fight." On to letter D, we have Don Quixote Doflamingo. For him, I once again have two moments. The first is, of course, the viral meme regarding his honestly absurd walk at the beginning of the Marineford arc. His best moment, however, by far his epic speech about justice. Quote, "Pirates are evil, the Marines are righteous." These terms have always changed throughout the course of history. Kids who have never seen peace and kids who have never seen war have different values. Those who stand at the top determine what's wrong and what's right. This very place is neutral ground. Justice will prevail, you say? But of course it will. Whoever wins this war becomes justice. This quote is both epic but also timeless. On to letter E, we have Eustace Kid. For him, the best moment was showing how strong he is against Shanks, right? Nah, my guy was completely obliterated. His actual best moment was, of course, when he awakened his devil fruit against Big Mom. He showed that at the very least, he is almost, and I emphasize on almost, Yonko level. Moving on to letter F, we have Fujitora. Once again, we have two moments to consider. The first is without a doubt the moment Fujitora showed us what a badass he really is. When was that? You see, the island of Dressrosa is in chaos as Luffy and his allies fight against the Don Quixote pirates to free the country from Doflamingo's tyrannical rule. Admiral Fujitora, a marine with the ability to manipulate gravity through the power of the Zushi no Mi, arrives in Dressrosa to address the situation. To demonstrate his formidable power and to intimidate his opponents, Fujitora uses his gravity abilities to summon a massive asteroid from space. He directs it towards the battlefield, showing his incredible control over gravitational forces. So, the ability to summon an asteroid? Definitely not something you see every day. The second moment we are considering, and the moment I will actually go with, was when Fujitora was seen wishing to know how Luffy actually looks like. After the intense battles in Dressrosa, Luffy and his allies successfully defeat Don Quixote Doflamingo, liberating the island from his tyrannical rule. Admiral Fujitora, who played a complex role during the events, acknowledges the impact of Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates on the people of Dressrosa. This moment humanizes Fujitora, showing his emotional depth and his capacity for admiration and gratitude, even towards those he is supposed to capture. It highlights his internal conflict between his duties as a Marine Admiral and his personal sense of justice. The next character we have with the letter F is, of course, Franky. For him, we have three moments we are considering as candidates. The first occurred during Water 7. You see, the Straw Hat Pirates are in the middle of a desperate battle against the world government's agents, the CP9 at Eni's lobby. The CP9 are after the blueprints of Pluton, an ancient weapon of mass destruction which Franky possesses. Franky takes the highly coveted blueprints of Pluton and, in a bold and decisive act, burns them in front of Spandam and the CP9 agents. He does this to prevent the world government from ever obtaining the means to build another Pluton. By burning the blueprints, Franky declares his defiance against the world government. He emphasizes that the existence of the blueprints is too dangerous and that no one should have the power to create such a destructive weapon. Franky's act of burning the blueprints is a significant gesture of trust in Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. He believes that their strength and determination are enough to protect the world from the threats posed by the world government and other malicious forces. The second moment I'm considering was during his fight with Senor Pink. Now, imagine people that did not watch One Piece and you're trying to explain to them that this fight between a man dressed as a baby and a man wearing underwear without pants is actually the manliest fight we saw in the series. Yeah, that's right. The battle takes place in the underground port of Dressrosa, where the Straw Hat Pirates and their allies are fighting against the Don Quixote Pirates to liberate the island from Doflamingo's rule. Franky faces off against Senor Pink, one of Doflamingo's top officers, known for his unique fighting style and tragic backstory. The battle is a clash of brute strength and willpower, with both fighters displaying remarkable endurance and determination. As the battle progresses, Franky learns about Senor Pink's tragic past, involving the loss of his wife and child, which led to his current demeanor and fighting style. This backstory adds depth to Senor Pink's character, transforming him from a mere antagonist to a figure worthy of sympathy and respect. The fight culminates in a dramatic and emotional final punch from Franky, who acknowledges Senor Pink's strength and spirit. Franky's final blow is delivered with a sense of respect rather than animosity. And finally, the third moment I am considering took place in Wano Arc. More specifically, the battle takes place during the Onigashima raid, where the Straw Hat Pirates and their allies launch an assault on Kaido's fortress. Big Mom, one of the four emperors, is a formidable opponent, and her presence adds significant danger to the raid. As the raid intensifies, Franky makes a dramatic entrance in his Shogun Franky mech suit. He arrives just in time to save Nami and Carrot from a deadly attack by Big Mom. Franky, along with Brook, then engages Big Mom in combat. Brook uses his Soul Solid sword to cut Zeus, Big Mom's living homie, while Franky executes a series of attacks with his mech suit. Their teamwork and coordination are crucial in holding off Big Mom. Franky's fearless attitude in confronting Big Mom highlights his unwavering courage and loyalty to his crewmates. Despite knowing her immense power, he doesn't hesitate to protect his friends and stand against her. Between the three moments now, I would probably have to go with the second one aka the fight of Frankie against Senor Pink. Moving on to letter G, Monkey D. Garp. For the badass Garp, despite not having the most screen time, I have 4 moments I am considering, as basically every moment Garp appeared in, he did something epic, leaving out the scenes where he was just picking his nose, of course. So the first moment to consider is none other than the God Valley incident. Despite not knowing exactly what happened, we do know that Garp went beast mode during this event. This mysterious event occurred 38 years before the current timeline of One Piece. It involved a clash between the Rocks Pirates, led by Roxy Shebeck, and an alliance of Marines, including Garp and the Roger Pirates, led, of course, by Goldie Roger. The Rocks Pirates were a notorious crew composed of future legends such as Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shiki. The Rocks Pirates were considered a major threat to the world due to their immense power and ambition to overthrow the world government. In a rare and unprecedented alliance, Garp teamed up with Goldie Roger to take down the Rocks Pirates. This collaboration between a Marine hero and the Pirate King highlights the extraordinary nature of the threat posed by Roxy Shebeck. The battle at God Valley was intense and brutal, with Garp and Roger facing off against some of the most powerful pirates in history. The exact details of the fight are shrouded in mystery, but it is known that Garp played a crucial role in the victory, earning him the title, the Hero Garp. The second moment I am considering happened during Marineford, where the infamous quote was said towards Sengoku, "You better not let go of me, Sengoku, otherwise I'll kill that damn Sakazuki." Truth be told, at that point, we were not really sure how could Garp do that, but after learning about God Valley incident, well, Akainu for sure has Sengoku to thank for stopping Garp. I mean, after all, Garp was ready to go all out after Akainu dome-notified Ace. A related moment to that, and actually the third contender for Garp's best moment, is his return to face Dadan. This scene takes place shortly after the devastating events of the Marineford War, where Port Gazdi Ace, Garp's adopted grandson, is killed by Admiral Akainu while trying to protect his brother Luffy. The war leaves a lasting emotional scar on many characters, particularly those close to Ace, and of course, Garp. When Garp visits Dadan, she confronts him with intense anger and sorrow. She scolds him for not protecting Ace and questions his decisions, highlighting the emotional conflict between his duties as a Marine and his love for his family. This scene adds immense emotional depth to Garp's character, as it shows that even the most powerful and seemingly unshakable characters have profound vulnerabilities and can experience intense grief and regret. Garp actually felt responsible for Ace's death, so he wanted Dadan to punch him as a punishment for his actions. And even though all these 3 moments were truly remarkable, my personal favorite has yet to be animated, at least while this video is made, that is. This is none other than Garp's Galaxy Impact. Not many things to say about this, other than the fact that Garp showed us just a fraction of how truly powerful he was while in his prime. If a single punch can literally decimate an entire island, then imagine this guy going all out in his prime. On to letter H, we have Hilalook. For him, I only have one, but a truly memorable moment. His famous quote, "When do you think people die? When they are shot through the heart? When they are ravaged by an incurable disease? No, it's when they are forgotten." Hilalook challenges the conventional understanding of death by suggesting that true death occurs not from physical causes, but from being forgotten. He implies that as long as someone's memory and impact endure in the hearts and minds of others, they continue to live on in a meaningful way. The quote aligns with one of the central themes of One Piece, the importance of dreams, relationships, and the indelible mark people leave on the world. It underscores the series' focus on the enduring power of bonds and memories. And now we reach Hiyori. Again, we only have one moment for her, that being her quote of "The Kurozumi clan were born to burn." Hiyori delivers the quote to Orochi Kurozumi, who was about to face his demise. This statement is made in the context of Orochi's imminent death, symbolizing the end of his tyranny. Hiyori's statement reflects the intense personal and historical grievances against the Kurozumi clan. Her family and the people of Wano suffered greatly under Orochi's rule, which was marked by oppression, betrayal, and cruelty. And this moment, her long-awaited moment of revenge. Moving on to the letter J and Jinbei, that in my opinion has 2 memorable moments that we should consider. The first is when Jinbei donated his blood to Luffy. You see, the moment occurs during the end of the Fishman Island arc, where Luffy is gravely injured and in desperate need of a blood transfusion. Without immediate medical attention, his life hangs in the balance. Jinbei, who has recently joined the Straw Hat crew, wastes no time in stepping forward to offer his blood to save Luffy. His willingness to sacrifice for his captain exemplifies the strong sense of camaraderie and loyalty that defines the crew. This moment was heavily symbolic, as Fisher Tiger in the past refused a blood transfusion if it was to be given to him by a human. Jinbei donating his blood to Luffy shows an act of bringing the 2 races closer and sends a strong message against racism. The second moment, which I believe is actually the best moment of Jinbei, was during his separation from the Big Mom pirates. The moment occurs during the chaotic events of the escape from Totoland, as the Straw Hat crew, along with Jinbei, attempts to flee from Big Mom's territory. Jinbei has recently joined the Straw Hat crew, solidifying his commitment to Luffy and his friends. However, his departure from Big Mom's crew remains unresolved, posing a potential threat to their escape. By informing Big Mom of his departure, Jinbei asserts his independence and loyalty to the Straw Hat crew. And not only that, but him staying unfazed in the presence of Big Mom, that was actively trying to take away his life force cannot be described as anything short of badass. Calling Big Mom a mere Yonko? Yeah, this is surely Jinbei's best moment in One Piece. The next letter in line is K, and thus we have Bartholomew Kuma. Once again, 2 moments as candidates. The first was actually one of the most heartbreaking moments of One Piece. This is none other than the events taking place while being shown the memories of Kuma. Everything that Kuma did was to save Bonnie, and the epitome of that? Smiling while tears run on his cheeks when his memories are being wiped out as part of the agreement he made with Vegapunk and the world government. And even though that moment was epic, my favorite, and I believe the best moment of Kuma is the following: being on the verge of death, basically being a bunch of scrap, and yet traveling half the world when sensing that Bonnie was in danger. Not only that, but I really don't remember the last time a punch felt so satisfying. Kuma punching Saturn was, in my humble opinion, the best moment of Kuma so far. Next, Charlotte Katakuri. Even though Katakuri has some epic moments, like killing this guy right here in an insanely epic way, I believe Katakuri's best moment is by far the following. You see, Katakuri's decision to stab himself during his intense battle with Luffy in the Whole Cake Island arc is a striking moment that reveals profound insights into his character and serves as a turning point in his dynamic with Luffy. The moment occurs during the climactic showdown between Katakuri, one of Big Mom's top commanders, and Luffy, leader of the Straw Hat Pirates. The battle is not just physical, but also a clash of ideologies and principles, as both fighters strive to uphold their beliefs and honor. In a surprising turn of events, Katakuri deliberately stabs himself with his trident, causing himself pain and injury. This action shocks both Luffy and the audience, as it goes against the typical behavior of a powerful and prideful warrior. Katakuri's decision to wound himself is motivated by his sense of honor and fairness. He recognizes that Luffy was injured only because his sister intervened during their fight, and thus distracted Luffy, leading to Katakuri stabbing Luffy in the abdomen. As a result, Katakuri felt the need to stab himself in order to bring this fight back to its fair status. Here, Katakuri displayed what a great and well-written antagonist he truly is, and thus I mark this as his best moment in One Piece. Up next, Kaido. For him, I only have one moment that I believe clearly deserves the best moment for him, and this is none other than his epic introduction and his inability to die. Kaido is known as one of the strongest beings in the world, often referred to as the strongest creature. His inability to die, despite numerous attempts, including his dramatic fall, showcases his near invincibility. However, it also highlights a profound sense of despair and weariness, suggesting that his strength is both a blessing and a curse. This moment also serves to foreshadow future revelations about Kaido's past and motivations. It raises questions about what could drive someone so powerful to such despair, building intrigue and setting the stage for deeper exploration of his backstory. On to Kobe, when once again I got 2 moments as candidates. The first took place during Marineford. This action, by a relatively minor character at the time, exemplifies courage, moral conviction, and the impact of individual actions in the face of overwhelming chaos. Kobe's act of standing up to stop the war is a testament to his growth and courage. From his humble beginnings as a timid cabin boy, he transforms into a Marine willing to risk his life to uphold what he believes is right. His bravery in confronting both the Marines and the pirates amidst the chaos and violence is a powerful demonstration of his development as a character. Despite being a relatively small and inexperienced figure compared to the legendary pirates and Marines around him, Kobe's actions have a significant impact. His heartfelt plea resonates with others and contributes to the eventual cessation of hostilities. This intervention showcases how even those seemingly powerless can influence the course of events through sheer determination and righteousness. It suggests that there are individuals within the institution who are willing to challenge unjust orders and act accordingly to their conscience. This moment hints at the possibility of a future where the Marines can be a force for genuine justice rather than mere instruments of authority. And even though the moment was truly epic, I believe Kobe's best moment happened relatively recently instead, during the events of Hachinosu. You see, Kobe's use of honesty impact demonstrates his substantial growth in strength and combat ability. Having started his journey as a timid and inexperienced boy, this powerful move signifies his evolution into a capable and courageous Marine officer. It highlights the fruits of his rigorous training and dedication, not to mention that it was by far the most powerful and at the same time epic move Kobe ever unleashed. This moment truly showcased that deep within Kobe there lies the potential of another monster like Garp to emerge, and that's probably what Garp actually saw in him when deciding to take him under his wing. And now for the moment you've all waited for, the letter L, and of course the protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy. His first moment I'm considering that many of you might have forgotten how truly epic it was, is his fight with Arlong. The fight against Arlong is driven by Luffy's desire to free Nami from her torment. Discovering the suffering she endured under Arlong's rule, Luffy's resolve to take down Arlong is fueled by his loyalty and fierce protectiveness towards his crew. This battle is personal, highlighting the importance Luffy places on his friend's well-being, as well as his strong opposition of someone taking away the freedom of someone else. I mean, the face Luffy made when Arlong said that he can use Nami however he wants was one of the most powerful moments in all of One Piece. Everything Luffy did during this fight was straight up proof that we are witnessing the work of an S-tier protagonist. From giving his hat to Nami, to the way he fights against Arlong, all the way to his replies when it comes to Arlong's corrupted mentality. This fight of Luffy against Arlong was excellent, no matter how you look at it. Now, the second moment I am considering for Luffy is once again an underrated moment that this time took place during Logtown. As Luffy stands on the execution platform where the Pirate King Goldie Roger was executed, he faces his imminent death with a smile and laughter. This fearless reaction to his impending execution demonstrates Luffy's unyielding courage and his acceptance of the risks that come with his quest to become the Pirate King. It shows that he is undaunted by the prospect of death, a trait that defines his character throughout the series. Luffy's behavior mirrors that of Goldie Roger, who also smiled and faced his death with courage. This parallel underscores the thematic connection between Luffy and Roger, hinting at Luffy's destined path and his potential to follow in Roger's footsteps. This moment reinforces the idea that Luffy is the spiritual successor to the Pirate King, destined to continue Roger's legacy. Now, the third moment I'm considering is, of course, Luffy punching St. Charlos. St. Charlos, as a celestial dragon, represents the highest echelon of corruption and arrogance in the world of One Piece. These nobles are known for their cruel behavior and belief in their own untouchable status. Luffy's punch is a direct act of defiance against this tyranny, signaling his refusal to accept the injustices perpetuated by the celestial dragons. This act of rebellion is a powerful statement against the oppressive social hierarchy. Luffy's actions can be seen as an embodiment of his own sense of justice. Unlike the world government's version of justice, which often supports the status quo and protects the powerful, Luffy's justice is based on fairness, freedom, and protecting the weak. His punch against Charlos is a vivid demonstration of this personal code. And finally, the fourth moment and the actual best moment for Luffy is, yeah, I'm sure you all know where I'm going with this, Fifth Gear. Even though all Gear Awakenings were epic, none of them comes even close to his Devil Fruit Awakening and unlocking of Fifth Gear. Gear 5th represents the pinnacle of Luffy's abilities, showcasing the full extent of his Devil Fruit powers. This transformation not only enhances his physical capabilities, but also introduces a level of versatility and creativity that surpasses his previous forms. It is the culmination of his growth and training, pushing his limits further than ever before. Luffy's Gear 5th transformation embodies the spirit of freedom that he champions. The playful and unrestrained nature of this form reflects Luffy's desire to break free from limitations and fight in his unique, carefree style. It aligns with the series' overarching theme of seeking freedom and living life without constraints. Naturally, this is Luffy's best moment in One Piece. Next up, we have Lucky Roo. The best moment for him? Well, since the red hair pirates only appear once every 5 years, we only have one clear moment to place as his best moment in One Piece. This is, of course, the moment he stepped up and shot the mountain bandit that was threatening to shoot Shanks. In the blink of an eye, without any of the bandits knowing what hit them, Lucky Roo had already shot the bandit dead. Moving on to the letter M, we have Mihawk. For him, again, I'll just say the best moment he had so far, as I think we all know what the answer to that would be. This is none other than his fight against Zoro in Baratie arc. Mihawk's duel with Zoro is the first time viewers witness his exceptional skill and power. As the greatest swordsman in the world, Mihawk effortlessly outmatches Zoro, demonstrating his mastery of swordsmanship with precise and devastating strikes. This establishes him as a force to be reckoned with, setting a high bar for future opponents. Throughout the duel, Mihawk exudes an aura of calm confidence and authority, effortlessly dominating the battlefield with his presence alone. His demeanor reflects his status as a seasoned warrior and a figure of legendary renown. Even as he fights, Mihawk maintains an air of elegance and control, showcasing his unparalleled skill and discipline. And not only that, it creates an anticipation for the inevitable rematch that Zoro and Mihawk will have once Zoro has reached the level of Mihawk. On to Momonosuke. For him, his best moment was obviously Yamato hiding him in a very secret location, right? No, seriously. We've got two moments from Momonosuke. The first was when he decided to sacrifice part of his own life in order to be turned into an adult, and thus become powerful enough to be able to help in the fight with Kaido. Now, even though that moment was powerful, I believe another moment that showed Momonosuke's true love for Wano is what's actually the best moment for him. You see, when Kaido was about to execute him, Momonosuke, instead of renouncing his right as shogun and rejecting his father, embraced truth and chose to be brave in the face of death. This showcased that Momonosuke is truly a worthy successor of Oden, and a man that can actually lead Wano to a better future. Moving on to the letter N and Nami, we once again have two moments that stand out from the rest. The first is during Wano, where Nami wanted all the smoke and attacked Ulti for hurting Tama. Nami's decision to stand up to Ulti to protect Tama demonstrates her innate sense of compassion and her willingness to defend the innocent, especially when we are talking about children. Since, once again, we know that Nami was also an abused child when younger. Despite the overwhelming danger posed by Ulti, Nami prioritizes Tama's safety above her own, showcasing her selflessness and bravery in the face of adversity. The second moment that is a strong contender Airbender takes place during Egghead Island arc, where the Gorosei attack Nico Robin. At that moment, Nami's first reaction is to throw herself in the way and try to protect Robin, once again showing a true sense of selflessness when it comes to her crewmates. If I have to choose, both moments are epic, but I believe Nami versus Ulti was maybe a bit more epic. Up next, letter O and Kozuki Odin. Once again, two moments to consider. The first is Odin's fight with Kaido, where Kaido truly shows what a beast he really is. Even Kaido seemed to be at a disadvantage when fighting Odin. Without Kaido playing dirty during their fight, Odin could actually even have won this fight. And again, even though that was a truly epic moment, I think that the actual best moment of Odin was none other than his death. Odin's death epitomizes the themes of sacrifice and heroism in One Piece. Despite enduring unbearable pain and humiliation, Odin chooses to endure for the sake of his beloved country and people. His willingness to endure the hour of legend atop the scalding pot of oil showcases his indomitable spirit and unwavering resolve to protect his retainers, and at the same time, Wano, even at the cost of his own life. The amount of time Odin lasted in the oil reinforces once again that this guy was just built different. Plus, the quote, "Odin would not be Odin if it wasn't boiled," gave chills down my spine once it was echoed during Odin's death. Next in line, P. And for that letter, we have Pedro. For him, we have one clear answer: his moment of death. Pedro's death provides closure to his character arc and serves as a moment of redemption for him. Throughout the series, Pedro grappled with the guilt and remorse of his past actions as a member of the Nox Pirates. His sacrifice allows him to atone for his past sins and redeem himself in the eyes of his friends and allies. Not only that, but his sacrifice also strengthens the resolve of both the Straw Hats as well as their companions, such as Carrot. Next up, the letter R, and we have Reiju. Once again, you learn the drill. Two moments as candidates for her as well. The first is when she saved Sanji by breaking him out of his prison cell. She showed compassion and love towards her brother, something that no one in the family did, other than Sanji's mother, of course. This sets Reiju apart from the rest of her family and displays what a great character she really is. Despite the way she was raised and despite her strength, she still cared for her brother even if he was weak. The second moment I am considering was when Reiju showed Luffy that becoming the Pirate King might actually not be the only pleasure in life. You see, after Luffy got poisoned by eating this fish, Reiju's kiss was the only thing stopping Luffy from having the lamest death any anime protagonist had in the history of anime. Now, if I had to choose between those two moments, I would probably choose the first, aka Reiju breaking Sanji out of his cell. Up next, Nico Robin. Once again, two moments as candidates. The first is, of course, her "I want to live" moment. Robin's declaration of "I want to live" marks a profound transformation in her character. Throughout much of her life, Robin has been on the run, living in isolation and fear due to the world government's pursuit of her. She's harbored a deep-seated belief that her existence is a curse to those around her. This moment signifies her breaking free from that belief and choosing to embrace life and the possibility of happiness. Robin's past is filled with trauma and loss, from the destruction of her homeland Ohara to being betrayed by people she trusted. Her outburst during the Enies Lobby arc is a powerful rejection of the idea that she's destined for solitude and suffering. By shouting "I want to live," Robin defies the fate that has haunted her and asserts her right to seek her own destiny. Moreover, she finally shows that she now has absolute trust toward her friends and understands that they will do anything to save her. The second moment to consider is when she fought against Black Maria and used her Demonio Floor attack. This move really showcased and put into parallel the nickname she was given as a child, aka the Devil Child. Among the two, I would have to go with the "I want to live" moment though. Next up, Rayleigh. That for him, I'm considering three epic moments. Obviously, the first moment we are considering is when he was first introduced in the series, Subodi Archipelago. Without Rayleigh, Kizaru was ready to wipe the Straw Hats off the face of the earth, as again, the Straw Hats weren't even close to Kizaru's level at that point. Rayleigh, known as the Dark King, showcases his incredible strength and skill, particularly his mastery of hockey. His ability to hold his own against an admiral like Kizaru underscores his legendary status and the level of threat he possesses even to the highest echelons of the Navy. Not to mention that this guy is now far from his prime days. Imagine how strong he was if this version of him can go toe-to-toe with an admiral. Rayleigh's involvement hints at his connection to Goldie Roger, the former Pirate King, and his legacy. His decision to aid Luffy and his crew can be seen as an endorsement of Luffy's potential and his parallels to Roger, whom Rayleigh deeply respected. The second moment I am considering is the following. Once Luffy returned to Subodi, plenty of Marines were there waiting for it. What did Rayleigh proceed to do? He drew a line and waited behind it. When the Marines asked what that line is, Rayleigh's badass reply was, quote, "I suggest you don't cross it." Now, I don't know about you, but this moment gave me literal goosebumps. And finally, the last moment to consider is his badass entrance to save Boa Hancock from Blackbeard. Now, even though this moment was epic in the manga, the anime went the extra mile here and made it one of the most badass entrances in all of One Piece. Rayleigh's menacing hockey release was enough to make Blackbeard run with his tails between his legs. Among the three, I would probably go with the last moment as Rayleigh's best moment in the series. From the vice captain to the captain of the crew, Goldie Roger. For him, we have once again two candidates for his best moment. The first moment to consider for Roger is, of course, course, the moment of his execution. This is probably one of the most iconic moments in all of anime history, if you ask me. Roger's final declaration acted as a catalyst that set off the Great Pirate Era. His words inspired countless individuals to take to the seas in search of the One Piece, dreaming of becoming the next Pirate King. This surge of piracy and adventure is the backdrop against which the entire series unfolds, driving the motivations of countless characters, including the protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy. Roger's life and death symbolize the ultimate freedom and the spirit of adventure. His legacy is not just about treasure, but about the freedom to explore and the thrill of the unknown. This spirit is embodied in Luffy and his crew, who pursued their dreams with the same fervor and resilience that Roger exhibited. And knowing what we know now about the world sinking, there might actually be more to Roger's motives than what we originally thought. The second moment I'm considering is the moment Roger was faced against the fleet of Shiki the Golden Lion. You see, the Battle of Edwar occurred when Shiki the Golden Lion, commanding a massive fleet, confronted Goldie Roger. Shiki proposed an alliance, believing that with their combined forces, they could dominate the world. However, Roger, true to his nature, refused to form an alliance with Shiki. This refusal led to a fierce naval battle. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Roger and his crew, with a combination of skill, determination, and a stroke of luck due to a sudden storm, managed to fend off Shiki's fleet and survive. Roger's refusal to ally with Shiki highlights his independence and commitment to his own principles. He was a pirate who valued his freedom and refused to be controlled or influenced by others, even if it meant facing overwhelming odds. Between the two, in my opinion, they were both really epic, but simply due to how iconic and pivotal to the story of One Piece Roger's execution really was, I would probably have to go with that. On to letter S, we have Sanji. Well, for him, the best moment was obviously barking for Stussy. Nah, seriously. The two moments I'm considering are in chronological order and are the following. The first is, of course, the I needed a light scene against Enel. You see, after taking a direct hit from one of Eneru's powerful lightning attacks, Sanji appears to be knocked out. However, he dramatically rises to his feet, despite the immense damage and pain, and delivers the iconic line, I needed a light, referring to the electric shock providing the spark to light his cigarette. This moment highlights Sanji's incredible toughness and endurance. Despite facing an overwhelmingly powerful enemy, he remains unfazed and even makes a witty remark, not to mention how epic the moment really was. The second moment we can consider for Sanji is his fight against Queen. Queen is one of the all-stars of the Beast Pirates, known for his formidable strength, scientific prowess, and use of advanced technology. His fight with Sanji is highly anticipated due to his connection with Vince Smoke Judge, aka Sanji's father. Sanji's battle against Queen forces him to confront his fears about becoming like his emotionless siblings. The activation of his latent genetic enhancements triggers a physical and emotional transformation, heightening his powers while challenging his sense of self. Between the two moments of Sanji, I would probably go for the first one, aka I needed a light. Next in line, Sabo. For him, I believe the best moment is clear. You see, Sabo's fight against Jesus Burgess in the Dressrosa arc is a significant and exciting encounter in One Piece, filled with both action and character development. The battle takes place after the Coliseum tournament in Dressrosa, where various fighters, including Burgess from the Blackbeard Pirates, are competing for the Mira Mira no Mi, the devil fruit once belonging to Ace, which, as we know, the devil fruit is then ended up being consumed by Sabo afterwards. During the Coliseum fights, this marks Sabo's major debut in the main storyline, as he takes over for Luffy in the tournament, revealing himself as the second in command of the Revolutionary Army. Not only that, but after the Coliseum battles were over, Burgess and Sabo fought once more, and all I will say is that Sabo had Burgess on his knees. On to Shanks, where we have 3 different moments for him. If we take them with chronological order, the first major moment of Shanks is, of course, saving Luffy, and in the process, sacrificing his arm. Shanks arrives just in time to save Luffy, diving into the sea and rescuing him from the Sea King. In the process, Shanks loses his left arm to the creature, a shocking and selfless act that emphasizes his commitment to protecting Luffy. This event profoundly affected Luffy, solidifying his admiration for Shanks and strengthening his resolve to become a great pirate. Shanks' sacrifice becomes a driving force behind Luffy's dream to find the One Piece and become the Pirate King. The second moment to consider is Shanks giving Luffy the Straw Hat. You see, this act is rich in symbolism and lays the foundation for Luffy's journey and the overarching narrative of the series. Despite his youth and inexperience, Luffy demonstrates unwavering determination to become a pirate, inspired by Shanks' adventures and demeanor. Luffy's spirit impresses Shanks, although he initially tries to dissuade him from the dangerous life of piracy. After saving Luffy from the Sea King and losing his arm in the process, Shanks makes a profound gesture by giving Luffy his cherished straw hat. This act is not just a gift, but a symbolic transfer of responsibility and dreams. And finally, the third moment we are considering, and the moment I will actually put as Shanks' best moment, is of course his epic entrance to stop the war. I mean, just as the battle seems endless, Shanks and his red-hair pirates arrive in Marineford. His sudden appearance amidst the chaos brings a palpable shift in the atmosphere. Shanks intervenes decisively, demanding an end to the fighting. His very presence commands respect and attention from both the pirates and the Marines, who recognize his authority and power. Even powerful figures like Admiral Akainu and Fleet Admiral Sengoku to acknowledge his presence and go through with his call to end the war. Next, the letter T and Trafalgar Law. Obviously, his best moment was being turned into a waifu by Blackbeard, right? No, seriously. The main moments to consider are the following. The first is his speech to Doflamingo about Straw Hats and his refusal to operate the ageless surgery on Doflamingo. Not to mention Law flipping off Doflamingo, which was one of my favorite moments of Dressrosa. However, my actual favorite moment of Law is, of course, his Devil Fruit awakening against Big Mom. It was the single most important moment for Law, and it was in this exact moment that he became relevant and comparable to the 4 emperors. On to the letter U and God Usopp. For him, there are 3 moments I am considering. The first is, of course, the moment he was hailed as God Usopp during the events of Dressrosa arc. You see, during a confrontation with Sugar, Usopp becomes a hero. After initially failing to defeat her, Usopp regains consciousness and, with the help of the Tontatas, manages to feed Sugar a spicy grape, causing her to faint from shock. The moment Sugar faints, her Hobby no Mi powers are nullified, reverting all the toys back into their original human forms. This act of liberation is attributed to Usopp, who is seen as their savior and hailed as God Usopp. The second moment I am considering is when Usopp, without a hint of fear, burned down the flag of the world government, declaring war against them. Unlike his usual scared personality, in this point, Usopp was something beyond brave. And now, the actual best moment of Usopp, in my opinion, his fight against Luffy. This confrontation occurs during the Water 7 arc, marking a turning point for the Straw Hat Pirates. The conflict arises over the fate of the Straw Hat Pirates' beloved ship, the Going Merry. After extensive damage and a professional assessment from the shipwrights of Water 7, it becomes clear that the Going Merry can no longer be repaired and must be replaced. Usopp is deeply attached to the Going Merry, not just as their ship, but as a symbol of their journey and a gift from his friend Kaya. His emotional attachment blinds him to the ship's deteriorating condition, leading to a major disagreement with Luffy, who, as the captain, must make the difficult decision to let the ship go for the crew's safety. The fight is not just physical, but deeply emotional. Usopp's feelings of inadequacy, pride, and desperation are evident, while Luffy's sorrow and sense of responsibility weigh heavily on him. Both are in visible pain, struggling with the emotional stakes as much as the physical combat. Despite his lack of raw power compared to Luffy, Usopp uses his ingenuity and preparation to create a challenging fight. His use of gadgets, traps, and his intimate knowledge of Luffy's fighting style demonstrate his tactical prowess. Up next, we have the letter W, and thus Whitebeard. Strangely enough, I have 4 moments I'm considering for him. The first is his punch on Akainu during Marineford. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Without plot armor, Akainu's head would have become scrambled eggs at this point. The second moment I am considering is a moment that also became a viral meme, even though for the wrong reasons, of course. This moment is, of course, the phrase, the One Piece. The One Piece is real! The third moment I am considering is his fight against Roger while still being in his prime. This fight showcased Whitebeard's real strength, and what a beast he truly was while younger. And finally, the moment I am choosing as Whitebeard's best moment, his death. Despite his advanced age and numerous injuries sustained in battle, Whitebeard refuses to back down. He displays unwavering determination and strength, fighting valiantly against overwhelming odds. In his final moments, Whitebeard entrusts the future to the next generation, urging them to pursue their dreams and shape the world according to their ideals. His death serves as a catalyst for the younger generation to step forward and carve out their own destinies. And the final letter for today's video, Z for Zoro. For Zoro, I have 3 possible moments. The first moment I am considering is his promise towards Luffy to never lose again after his defeat against Mihawk. This promise becomes a driving force behind his training, battles, and personal growth throughout the series. Zoro's promise represents his resilience in the face of adversity. Rather than succumbing to defeat, he channels his setbacks into motivation for improvement, pushing himself to greater heights with each challenge. The second moment I am considering is, of course, the nothing happened moment, where Zoro took all of Luffy's pain in order to save his captain. Now, if this does not show true loyalty, then I don't know what does. And finally, the last moment to consider for Zoro is, of course, his epic fight against King. Now, King is obviously the strongest opponent Zoro ever faced, and thus deserves at least an honorable mention among the list for the best moments for Zoro. Among the 3 moments, however, I would have to go for the number 2 moment, aka Nothing Happened, as Zoro's best moment in One Piece. Click on this video next, where we explain all past as well as future victims of Zoro in One Piece. Go on, check it out!